Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are now, excuse me, in episode 3 of our Karak Hirn Radious Mod Let's Play. So, we're coming in right where we left off, turn 20. So, as usual, for me, we finished the turn of turn 20 last time, so this is just going to be a quick update for me, as it's been a few days since the last recording. So we have the Black Mountains. That's all sorted, no upgrades to do there. Averheim is going to have a rebellion next turn. That's fine. Hopefully, Karl Franz will be kind enough to deal with that. Otherwise, the garrison is small, but our army is right there, so we should be able to take care of that. Matorka, positive public order, always good. Not going to have an upgraded dwarf keep for a while, but it should still be a reliable province that isn't just going to get taken out from under us. So, yes, of course. Glad von Karstein has taken Grenstadt from us with his large army of few scary-looking things. Got a new army recruiting in Schwarzhafen, and the Lichtenberg Confederacy, is pushing on Karagdromar. Oakenhammer has been taken back by Jufbar. Manfred looks like he's being pushed back a little bit. So that's gonna be the end of this turn. So I will see you in the next one. And so we're here in the end turn, and it looks like Vlad von Karstein has pushed out of Grenstadt to attack Alrik Ranulfsson. So the balance of power is dead even. So we're going to be fighting this one on the campaign. Not the campaign map, the battle map, rather than just auto-resolving it. So let's have a quick look at the terrain we're going to be facing on. That looks like potentially we're going to want to set up at the back, since he's going to be coming to us. Give it a quick save, and then we will be heading in. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the battle map. Alrik Ranulfsson over here. Great Lord, legendary Lord and King of Karak Hirn, and his army of brave warriors are going to be facing against the hordes of the undead, led by Vlad von Karstein himself. So, probably going to be wanting to go with a traditional formation here, really. Dwarf warriors at the front, a second line of warriors with great weapons and warriors with long axes, so that we can always engage on the Vargheists. I believe they have some Vargheists, so that should be the use of our long axes in this campaign. They can actually form a phalanx. That's interesting. So Alrik is obviously going to be in the centre of our formation, holding the line, and we're going to put both of our regiments of renown on opposing flanks, just so we can hopefully beat on the flanks and then come round and flank the central in the middle, so like that. Not really explaining it very well, but basically like that. So we've got the Ekrund miners here, they've got their blasting charges, and of course we've got our big line of Quarrelers and Thunderers. So I think the Thunderers might actually be able to shoot at something this battle, which would obviously be good. And of course, we have the Grudge Thrower, which will hopefully be doing some damage before they even get to us. So, let's start this battle and see where they deploy. So they've deployed right at the front, and yes, here we go. 3 units of Vargheists. 33 Vargheists. But other than that, it's not actually that scary. He's got some Sylvanian Spearmen, Sylvanian Swordsmen. They should be pretty handily beaten by our Dwarf Warriors. Skeleton Warriors, obviously going to be beaten. Crypt Ghouls might be the only problem. We might have to engage with Alrik on them. More Sylvanian Halberdiers, so they're not going to do very well at all. More Sylvanian Swordsmen, and of course, here's the big problem. They have some Blood Knights. So I'm feeling very nervous about engaging these Blood Knights, because I don't really have a good answer to them. I've got the long axes, but they're probably going to be taken up fighting the Vargheists, so I'm not really sure how we're going to be able to deal with them. Grudge Thrower, they should be in range very, very soon, and then we'll start getting some early damage on them. Alric Ranelson, he doesn't have any abilities to pop other than his Potion of Toughness, which we'll obviously be doing. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him engaged on Vlad von Karstein over here. Looking amazing, as always. Fantastic model. Some zombies, they're just chaff, really, and the vampires, honestly. The Fellbats shouldn't really be much of a problem. So, aha, Grudge Thrower is going in, and it's doing some nice damage on those Skeleton Warriors. So what we're going to do is we're going to target the Blood Knights. No, actually, we're going to target the Crypt Ghouls, and hopefully some shots will go behind them. That knocking a few Fellbats out of the air there, very nice. So what we're going to be wanting to do is we'll want to go into slow motion, or possibly even pause, as the enemy come into range, and then we'll be able to target with our Quarrelers individually to get maximum damage. Appears they're having a nice bunch up here for our Grudge Thrower. It's not actually firing. Oh, no, apparently they missed. Don't know how they missed that huge blob, but hey. Let's get these Quarrelers turned, and these long axes turned as well. Luckily, it's the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass who are on this flank, so they should be able to hold pretty well. Our Lord is under attack. He's been attacked by Vlad von Karstein's abilities, I do believe. And our Quarrelers are firing into the Fellbats. Hopefully, they should be able to take them out pretty early. Where are the Crypt Ghouls? Not taking a huge amount of damage from the Grudge Thrower. A little bit disappointed there. So, do we target the Blood Knights? I don't think we can afford to target the Blood Knights. I think we're just going to have to target the big blob of infantry in the centre. Luckily, the Bats and Vargheists on the flank aren't engaging in, so we're freely able to pepper them down with our Quarrelers, which should be good. We're going to have to move these two Quarrelers over here as well. And possibly we're going to move our Thunderers up on the hill as well. Maybe they can get some good shots. So, Alric is in the centre, and hopefully our nice core of Dwarf Warriors will be able to hold against the tide. So we've got our two units of Quarrelers here who are shooting on the Blood Knights. Yes, hopefully getting some good damage on them. Got our Thunderers there for some backup. Maybe, yes, we'll swing around the dwarves with the long axes. And here we go, the Vargheists have engaged on Alric Ranelson and this first unit of dwarf warriors. What I should have done earlier, which I'm going to do now, is pop the... Ooh, wrong unit. Pop the dwarf warriors into a shield wall formation, which should give them some bonus charge defense, which hopefully that went off before the Sylvanian swordsman got in there. So we're going to be charging the great weapons into the Sylvanian swordsman. We're going to be charging these great weapons into the halberdiers, and these ones can charge in there. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass can come around here. These two units of Quarrelers need to shoot these Vargheists, and that unit of long axes need to attack there. Grudge Thrower needs to move back. Luckily, we've done massive damage here. Hopefully they can shoot as well. Yes, there we go. Thunderers engaging on the Blood Knights, hopefully doing some massive damage. Yes, we've almost... Well, we're doing amazing damage to these Blood Knights, because they've taken a diamond formation, which is giving them some missile resistance, but is also reducing their missile parry. Got our Ekrund Miners here, who are engaging on these Vargheists, which is never a good idea, really, so we'll throw our long axes in there as well. Our Grudge Thrower is unfortunately being assaulted, but there's not really much we can do about that at the moment because we're engaging on all of these extra units. So these units are going to have to shoot at these Vargheists. That is an absolute priority. Our Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are engaged with, Vlad von Karstein. That's not a good idea. So we're going to want to pull them around and just engage on the zombies. Alric Ranelson over here is going to run forwards and hopefully take out Vlad von Karstein. I don't know whether he'll be able to do that much damage to him, but hopefully he will. Yes, the Blood Knights have been absolutely destroyed by our missile units over here, and then they can target the... Well, let's get the Thunderers targeting the Vargheists already, and we will get the Ekrund Miners running around the flank while our long axes finish off the Vargheists. Our grudge thrower is rallying, so maybe we can get them back on there. The bats are continuing to engage on our quarrelers, but they're not really doing a huge amount of damage. We don't unfortunately have any healing abilities or anything to pop, so we're going to want to bring Alric round to engage on Vlad. Our dwarf warriors are holding in the centre against the Sylvanian halberdiers. The dwarf warriors here are winning against the Crook ghouls, and we're going to get these Ekrand miners engaging and throwing their blasting charges into the flank, doing massive damage. Absolutely fantastic. Going to get these long axes running around the flank as well. Quarrelers still doing an amazing job with the long axes and the great weapons taking on these Vargheists. The balance of power is starting to shift in our favour. Thunderers can target these Vargheists. Quarrelers can start moving around the flank as well. These, unfortunately, the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass have been engaged on by both of the heroic units from the vampires, so they're obviously not doing well. But hopefully we can push Alric through the blob of Sylvanian swordsmen and engage on Vlad. Come on, you can do it. Move through there. Is there much else to do? Yes, Thunderers shoot at those Vargheists. Ekron miners can move around here, and these long axes can engage on the flank of these Sylvanian halberdiers. Probably going to want to be putting them in melee mode and just engaging on the criticals. Of course, they ran out of ammo. Not got a huge amount of ammunition, obviously, to make that balanced. So Thunderers are hopefully going to be engaging on here. We're going to be targeting down the Skeleton Warriors. They do have a missile resistance because of their shields, but hopefully we'll still be able to do some massive damage. Let's pop the Potion of Toughness on Alric Ranelson, who is engaging on Vlad von Carstein, and is unfortunately being buffed by Van Hel's Dance Macabre, which is massively increasing his melee attack and his speed, which I believe is cast by Emmanuel Posner, this vampire of shadows. So what we're going to do is going to get both of these units of quarrelers to shoot at the vampire, and we're going to get these units, this massive blob of units here, to kind of turn around and start engaging on this last pocket vampire resistance. This is looking like a victory for us. Decisive, not really, but hopefully not a Theoric one. So these Vargheists, they are losing against our ranged units over here. These Quarrelers can move up on top of the hill to get a better firing arc. These Quarrelers are shooting into the blob and into the vampire, which is hopefully doing massive damage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring all of these units in and engage on the last of the remaining units. And that looks like a mass rout from the remaining units. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just fast forward and wait for these other units to finally die. We're going to bring up these Thunderers here, and hopefully they can get some supporting fire on Vlad von Carstein, which would be good. It will be quite difficult to take him down. We're going to run the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass back, since they've only got 15 models left, but there's not really much that they can do now. We're probably getting a lot of friendly fire, and there we go. Victory has been had by Alric Ranelson, King of Karak Hirn, and the mightiest dwarf who ever lived. That's probably a bit of a stretch, but hey, a nice victory against the vampire counts. So, we're going to be ending this battle here, a close victory, so I will be seeing you back on the campaign map. And so we're nearly back on the campaign map. As you can see here, we lost 417 brave dwarves, mostly on our dwarf warrior units, not really too many casualties on our supporting units. They lost 1,056 units, with only 59 remaining. Of course, Vlad and Emmanuel Posner went down. There we go, a close victory. A loot of 607 gold, not too good, but it's always nice. A Berserker Sword has been taken for Alric Ranelson, and he's gained another rank. So, who was our MVP for that battle? I'm seeing 101 kills on these Dwarf Warriors, very, very impressive, and 74 on the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. So, well done to them. Shall we release the captives? 1,328 gold. It's probably not worth it, because we're going to really need this casualty replenishment. So, we'll be executing the captives, and we have gained some stuff on Alric Ranelson. Of course, this is only the start of the end turn, so I will be getting back to you And we're back on the end turn, and Sterland is offering us a non-aggression pact, which, I mean, we could probably get a little bit of money out of them, but they are technically a higher rank than us, so we will be accepting that. And we will be continuing with the end turn, putting it on fast forward here, and hopefully it'll be done soon. So, I'm going to use this opportunity to talk a little bit about what our continuing goals are for this campaign. So, we kind of went a little bit off track, really, and we've taken Averheim, which is not really what I was intending to do, but hey, I'm not going to complain. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking back Grenstadt, and then maybe pushing on to Schwarzhaften. I don't know, but possibly we're just going to burn it down, because maybe we don't want to be expanding that far into the vampire territories. So here we are back on the campaign map. We managed to kill Immanuel Posner in the battle, and we gained ourselves a Berserker sword, charge bonus, and weapon strength. Very nice. Alric Randolphin has gained the trait of Undeath Descendant. Down, but probably not out, as you cannot really kill what doesn't truly live. We defeated Vlad von Karstein, and as such we have massively reduced our runed recovery time. We are being raided by Dreska von Karstein of the Rebel, who's spawned from Averheim. We've researched Kazid subsidies for our technology, giving us more income from settlements. Let's go through the rest of the stuff here. Battle of Alverheim, obviously the close victory. We've gained a rank on Elric Ranulfsson. Non-aggression pact negotiated. The Graf Albrecht Anderson is engaging. Engaging? Wrong word. Is trespassing through our territory. Karak Hirn has declared war. Karak Hirn? Honestly, I do apologise. Words are a little bit all over the place today. Karak Kadrin has declared war on Tempelhof, and we have constructed the Dwarf Keep in Karak Hirn and the Drinking Hall in Matorka. Luther Huss, a unique agent for Reichland, is here, and we have the army of Vlad von Karstein, who some of these units survived, even though we killed them off, but we should just be able to push forwards on them, and hopefully it'll be a significant advantage in balance of power. So we're just going to be auto-resolving this one. We only lost the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, which obviously they can just be recruited again. We gained 545 gold from that, and we will be executing the captives again. We have unlocked the Goblobber for our Regiment of Renown and gained a few items. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading into Ulrich Ranulfsson, and what we're going to do is we're going to take two of these skills. We're going to take Elite Longbeards, Greenskin Slayers. Unfortunately, we can't take either of these because we're not the required rank, but we've got 2 skill points left, so we're going to be taking the Missile Resistance and also Inspiring Presence for a aura leadership effect of +5, which should hopefully anchor our front line in the more difficult battles. We've not got a huge army left, but I don't believe Gredstadt has a huge garrison. No, it does not. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be pushing straight on into Gredstadt, auto-resolving, and then occupying. Gained 71 gold. And then, yes, occupying Grenstadt again. And we have finished the grudge, the abominable puppet grudge. Win 3 battles against the undead, which we have now done. As seen by Thungni's raging glare, innocent Dawi travelling through Stirland have been taken by the von Karstein Zangunaz and slain. Their bodies have been risen and made to perform a dread revel, a puppet reenactment of Jaeger's travesty of a play, Stoutheart, Beard, Coma, and the Ostlander's Wife. This is a terrible grudge, for it is a terrible play, and one that must be paid with von Karstein heads. That grudge has been avenged, and we've gained a nice sum of money for it. Lichtenberg Confederacy have burned down Karak Dromar, which maybe, if they leave it alone, we might be able to underway up there and take it for ourselves. We have some buildings available to be built in Karak Hirn. We can upgrade to a stonebread bakery. We can upgrade our iron mines to an iron smelter. And what we can also do is pick up a siege workshop, which will enable us to recruit grudge throwers and bolt throwers, which will eventually also allow us to get thunderers and other mechanical units, which are very good. So let's recruit the recruit, build the siege workshop, and let's go through our diplomacy before we end the turn. Nothing to be done with the border princes. They will still accept a confederation, so we may be interested in that. Karak Hirn, not willing to accept anything. Wissenland, they might accept a trade agreement? No, unfortunately not. Reichland, would they accept anything? No, unfortunately. Our relations are improving, but slowly. Any other dwarf realms? Barak Var down here. They might accept a defensive alliance? No, unfortunately not. Lichtenberg Confederacy? We're not going to make an... Do we already have a non-aggression pact with them? We have. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel our non-aggression pact with that faction, just in case they do in fact colonize Karak Dromar, in which case we can push in, take out their army, and take both of these settlements for ourselves. So, research to do. We are going to go for... interlocking shields, which will give armor for all of our dwarf shielded units. So what we're also going to do is we're going to grab... unfortunately, we cannot recruit the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass back yet, but possibly we could pick up the Gob Lobber. So that's going to be the end of this turn. Going to put in the Untainted and Public Order bonus in Averheim to hopefully deal with the Vampire Rebellion. And that is going to be the end of this turn, so I will see you in the next one. So we're back in the end turn here, and Stirland is wanting us to give them some money for a trade agreement, which is definitely not going to be happening. Will they accept it without the money? They will not, so we will not be having a trade agreement with Stirland yet. So anyway, I will see you at the end of... And so we're back for turn 22. Blimey, this has been a long episode, and possibly what I'm going to do is record this full thing and then maybe split it up into 2 parts. So, on to the next turn. Dresko on Karstein is still raiding here, although Philip Brienne of Reichland is standing right here. We have a celebration in all of our provinces because of the completion of the Book of Grudges. Population surplus in the Black Mountains, and Carcassonne has declared war on Estalia. So which one do we think we should upgrade? I'm thinking we should upgrade Karak Angazar so we can upgrade to the final level, excuse me, of the clan barracks. So let's finish that one and upgrade it to a dwarf keep. Nothing to do in Matorka. Upgrade still going on over here. And the Lichtenberg Confederacy is kind of just standing next to Karak Dromar. So we're going to go into the underway and go up there. Then next turn we should be able to colonize that and gain ourselves another province. Hopefully Reichland being there is deterring them from attacking Averheim, because I'm not sure we would be able to hold it on our own against... oh, it is only zombies and Felbats, so maybe. But that's going to be in the end of this turn, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome back. We have a new grudge issue to defeat Ivo Gerhoff, who is raiding our lands down here. The rebellion, unfortunately, is growing in size, so it's possible that we are going to lose Averheim to the Dresko von Karstein, in which case we would have to go and take it back. The Lichtenberg Confederacy are still just kind of standing around up here, so let's just go in there and colonize it. Karak Dromar is now ours. Let's repair that, and let's see in the building browser what our unique landmark building is. That is Bugman's Brewery. A dwarf hold with a famed brewery attached is one worth defending at all costs. Its casks as valuable as gold. It produces a huge amount of dwarf beer, gives massive public order, unit experience for rangers, upkeep for rangers, recruitment cost for rangers, construction cost for ranger barracks and holstery, and construction time for Ranger Barracks and Holstery. It provides a garrison of Bugman's Rangers and unlocks Dwarf Scouts, Rangers with Great Weapons, Rangers, and Bugman's Rangers, which is interesting. Probably not going to be making this a specifically recruitment province, but we could do just to get the unique Bugman's Rangers, which I don't believe you can get anywhere else, although I'm not sure. And we have completed the siege workshop in Karak Hirn, which we're going to upgrade straight away to a gunsmith forge, so we can get some more thunderers, which I believe are better than quarrelers in a lot of situations, but probably dependent on the situation at hand. So we have colonized Karak Dramar, and we are going to be healing up with our units for one turn. Then we're going to be heading back down to Grandstadt, hopefully taking out either Gerhoff, and then if they're still around, taking out the Reska von Karstein as well. Can we recruit the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass back yet? Unfortunately, not. So as soon as we can, we're going to be getting them back. But other than that, that's going to be the end of this turn, and I'll see you in the next one. And so we're here in the end turn, and the Lichtenberg Confederacy is asking for a non-aggression pact, which we're probably going to be saying no to, since Eckendorf is in the province of Matorka, which we already have. Non-aggression pact with Lucchini, which I am definitely willing to accept. We're nearing the end of the turn here, so I'm probably going to keep the recording going. There's not a super large amount happened. Manfred and his army have pushed past Grenstadt, although we're not at war with them, so that's just them moving around. There's two armies of the Lichtenberg Confederacy right there. So what we're probably going to be doing is a little bit cheeky. We've got 3,267 income left. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be recruiting a new lord in Karak Angazar, probably a rune lord. We're going to be going with Yori Arkanha. Okay, that's an impossible name. We're going to have to be renaming him. But we're going to pop him into a Karak Angazar, and we're going to recruit him a grudge thrower, 2 units of Dwarf Warriors, and then we're going to just rush Arkendorf, which has an Empire Captain and 3 handgunners for a garrison. Alric Ranulfson has leveled up to level 9, and so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to keep pushing through this tree. We're going to get 2 in Resolute and 1 in Ancestral Grudge, and we'll hopefully be going through that a little bit more in the future. Are we needing a permanent garrison here? Unfortunately, it looks like that might be the case. So what we're going to be doing is, for now, we're going to just underway back down to Grenstadt. Nope. There we go. Yes, underway back down to Grenstadt and leave Karak Dramar as it is. Can we rename this man? Yes, we can. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be calling him Luther Afdromar in Ali, who is a character from one of my solo campaigns that I was playing, who did amazing stuff and probably won me the campaign. So we have here Luther Afdromar. Oh, wow, that was, excuse me, that was wildly off. It's Luther Afdromar Renari, which is a little bit better. And we're going to be recruiting him and then pushing straight on Eckendorf, as it has a tiny garrison, and there's only these 2 armies out here. Depends if one of these armies pushes back to Eckendorf, in which case we're going to be wanting to just use him as a defensive army. We have a settlement upgrade in Aberheim, which we're going to be taking straight away. It appears the vampires have pushed back down and hopefully aren't going to engage on us, as we actually have a kind of small reduced army at the moment. So we're going to be ending the turn, and hopefully we'll be able to continue in the next one. We're in the end turn here, and it looks like Vlad von Karstein is looking to make peace with us, and, well, we're not wanting to take Sportshaften, so we're just going to say yes, and just accept peace with the vampires, as we're not really wanting to really push on their last remaining province, as far as I'm aware. That is their last one. Carcassonne and the Fey Enchantress are declaring war on us. Yes, they're declaring war on us, and of course we're bringing in Clan Angrand as our allies. They're not bringing in any allies, so possibly we're going to have some expansion opportunities that way, although I'm really not wanting to take any Bretonnian provinces at the moment, as they're quite far away, and of course it'll be quite difficult to hold them down. Elspeth von Draken currently looking like a bright wizard. We're not going to worry about that. They're wanting a defensive alliance, and we're definitely going to accept, as they are our nearest bordering prince other than Stirland, and Stirland aren't a massive fan of us at the moment. A couple of things have happened. The border princes have declared on the top knots. We've encountered Grimgor's War, and the rebellion is still pushing forwards. The Lichtenberg Confederacy are both moving out. He's pushing towards Averheim, and the other one is pushing back to Akendorf. So what we're going to do is we're going to recruit a few more units in Luther's army, and then maybe we'll be able to push him forwards to Akendorf. And we finish the end turn here, and it looks like the last remaining lord for the vampire counts just went and suicided against the Lichtenberg Confederacy's army, which I guess is fun. Estalia have been destroyed completely, and our grudge has been aborted to destroy that Vampire Cat's army. And it's looking like, since these have been burned down, it's looking like either the Beastmen or the Skaven have got to them, as of course Skaven Blight right here. Very, very powerful province. So either the Beastmen, who spawn roughly around here, I think, have taken out Estalia, Bilbali, and Tabaro, or the Skaven have pushed forwards from Skaven Blight and have taken them out. It looks like I can't see an army from Carcassonne anywhere here, so hopefully Clan Angrand are going to be able to defend our western border for us. Got several armies around here, all of whom are friendly, and I can't just see that rebellion. Nope. I cannot see that rebellious army anywhere. It appears to have gone. So that will enable us to underway around. So we're probably going to be wanting to recruit a few more units into this army. What we're going to do is we're going to get 2 units of Quarrelers and another unit of Dwarf Warriors, which should give us a small mobile force which is able to take on other forces. We're going to push Alric back to Migdal-Vondelbark, and which will enable us to, 1, increase the public order, which isn't really necessary, but it's always good, and also it will enable us to heal up a little bit more, and then hopefully next turn we can push down from Migdal-Vondelbark into Arkendorf, which is hopefully either only stationed by this small garrison or the small garrison and this weakened army. Karak has a spot available, so we are going to be taking the barley field, I think. How many turns into rebellion? 16 turns. Yes, we're going to be taking the barley field here to increase growth, and that looks to be the end of this turn. Now, this is turn 25. So I'm just going to have a look at the recording and see how long it is, and possibly this is going to be the end of the episode. So if it is, I will see you tomorrow for episode 4, and if it isn't, then I'll see you in a few seconds.